I had to write separate prompts for every single image. Video has fantastic lip sync. Definitely one of the best models to make. That was probably the most complex of all the videos that I made.
Today we're going to be walking you through how to use video on NightCafe. It might seem daunting at first, but really it's a lot easier than you might think. All it takes is an experimental mindset and a prompt. We're going to be talking with Gully, who's one of our top creators on NightCafe, about how he creates video using the site. And he'll be able to walk you through how he does it step by step. But before we get into that, let's just go through where video lives in NightCafe, what models are available, and just basic settings that are going to be useful to you when you are creating on NightCafe. So let's do that. This is NightCafe Studio. This is your all-in-one AI art creation hub. So in order to get to video, you're going to want to hit the pink create button here at the top of your homepage, and that takes you to the studio form. There are here at the top of the create form different options: image, video, and more. More gives you different creation settings, but for now we're just going to stick to video. So we have, I think what I counted was like 13 video models, with more coming very soon. Each model has different settings and also different features. So some models might have start and end frame options, and others might have audio options without the start and end frame options. So it's really all just about experimenting, like I said, and seeing what you can make with each one. So my favorite personally is Pixverse. Like, there's different resolution options. Everything costs different. The higher the resolution, the more it's going to cost in credits. Different aspect ratios and different duration settings. You can have audio, and you'll have to prompt for the audio if you want something specific. You can prompt for accents. You can prompt for like the pitch of the voice if you want it to be a big, scary, like deep voice, or if you want it to be a cute little mouse type voice. And it does pretty well with sticking to your rules. Okay, that's the foundation of how you use video on NightCafe, but now let's look at what's actually possible with Gully. So I'm going to pass that over to him now and let you guys get into it.
Me, Gully DJ, and I'm going to show you a few videos first, and then I'm going to talk you through the video making process, and you can see me and my desktop and how to make a video using NightCafe. And I'll talk more about the video that I'm going to make later on, but for now I'm just going to play you a few different kinds of videos that I've made. They fall into 2 or 3 little categories. The first category is one-shot videos. The second category is tweening videos. And the third one is walking videos. So without any further ado, I suppose let's play some videos. First we had the little blue man running. That was made using an illustration done by my nephew, who's 6 years old, and he often sends me stuff and says, can you animate this for me? And I end up animating them for him. And then we had the 2 little teddy bears eating fruit. They're called ASMR videos. They're very fun to make. They're really cute to make. You don't have to do teddy bears. They don't have to be fruit. You can make them with anything really. They're really easy to make. Then we had the little astronaut climbing through the portal that he just made in the fingernail. Then we had one of the woman talking.
I was created using Seedream 4.5 and VO 3.1 on NightCafe.
And that was just when I was testing lip sync on VO 3.1. But as you can see, VO has fantastic lip sync. Definitely one of the best models if you want to use lip sync and text, voice rather. And then the last one, which was just a little looping one-shot video. Looping one-shots are quite cool to make because when you get it really nicely done and the loop's perfect, they're superb. They're quite fun to make. They're very easy to make. As the name implies, they're a one-shot. They're not designed to link to another video. They're just self-contained in what they are. You can choose to extend them or not extend them, but I make them as standalone little videos, normally to post to stuff like Instagram. Some are cute, some are just a little scene contained in itself, but it's all in the title of what I call them, a one-shot video. Right, okay, so I'm going to play you 3 more videos quickly, and these are slightly longer videos, or it might be 4 videos, but they're slightly longer videos. Sit back for a moment, enjoy them, and then I'm going to show you how to make one of these longer type videos. Let's play some videos.
in my mind,
Hi, so we saw a few slightly longer videos there, and if you've used Night Cafe, you probably already know that you can't make videos on Night Cafe that are longer than about 12 to 15 seconds, not 12 seconds. How do we make an extended video? I'm going to show you later on how to make one. I'm just going to quickly run you through them videos and what's different about them. The first video was a tweening video, the one with the changing faces and the fox and the cat at the near the end. And that's you can make them with any kind of video really, and that's just linking two random videos together with a smooth transition prompt that controls interpolation. The results can be a little bit random and a little bit varied, but you can get around that by using images that have enough basic features so that the morph appears a little bit more natural and sequential. But they're really fun to make. The second video, which was a man walking, it was the android curled up in the fetal position at the started off as a tweening video, and then I added motion and camera pull out to turn it into a walking video. And then I did another tweening video with motion with the faces, where the lady moves her face around and it changes to different environments. Once again, really easy to make. You might have noticed in them two videos, there were a few After Effects that I added. You can use them to try and control some things. The reason why I added After Effects to them was just to control a little bit of the variation in tones and colour when the clips change. Finally, the last video that I played was a walking video with tweening happening within the video. Really fun to make. That was probably the most complex of all the videos that I made. I had to write separate prompts for every single image using start images and whatnot. Great fun to make. I think it took me about a day and a half to make that video in total. But I'll show you how to make an extended video now. So we're here on the Night Cafe desktop. You should be able to see the desktop and you should be able to see my ugly mug again. So here we are, and what we're going to do now is we're going to create a video. Before I create the video, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the process. If you're going to make an extended video, you need to have an idea of what you're going to make beforehand. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be making a walking video. Walking videos are quite good fun to make. They're relatively easy to make, and you learn a lot from them as well. The process that we're going to use is we're going to use start images and end images. The reason why we're using start images and end images is because I want all the clips that we're making to link together seamlessly. I want them all to come together seamlessly, one after the other, with minimal external editing, just using Night Cafe really, and then lining them all up together, and they should flow like a sequence. We're going to be using images, and in terms of what the actual video is, there's going to be walking involved, and we're also going to be tweening the environments while our subject is walking through the different environments. And it will change from one environment to the next while the person or whatever it is we decide is walking through the scene. So I suppose let's start making some images first. So we're going to use the create button. So click on the create button and then go to whichever model you want to use. When I'm making a video, I tend to use the highest quality model that I can. It just means your end product, the end result is so much clearer. So I'm going to be using Seedream 4.5. Make the image in. Can we use that? We'll use that. I should also mention as well that when you're making a video that uses start and end images, the aspect ratio of your end video is controlled by the start images that you're using on these models, on the model that I'm going to use. So make sure that you make the right choice to start with. So choose whether you want it widescreen, whether you want it mobile vertical. Shall we do a widescreen one? We'll do a widescreen. So That's going to be our image, and so let's start off with our subject. An abstract and surreal astronaut with law wings. So what I've done there basically is I've said it's surreal. It's an astronaut. He's got long spindly legs, which I've spelt wrong. Long spindly legs and long arms that reach close to the floor, dressed in an alien astronaut suit. We've got our subject, we've described him. We've said that he's dressed in an alien suit, his basic features. We could go into a lot more detail. I'm not really overly fussed about that. Next, what we need to do is say what he's doing on the screen. So what he's doing is he's walking away from the camera. Let's put viewer. I prefer putting viewer than camera because very occasionally it sometimes put a person in there with a camera holding the camera and then your subject's walking away from the camera further on. So I tend to use viewer a lot in image prompts like this instead of camera. Walking away from the viewer. So we've got our astronaut, we've got what he's doing. So next we need to say where he is. And what we'll say is in this foreign, so foreign desert sunset with cacti. So what I've done there is I've basically got my prompt there, and the last thing I'll add right at the end is what kind of render I want. So we've got our astronaut description, where he is, what he's doing, and now moving on to the actual render quality. So we've got wanting to be clean and minimal. I think we'll just do it as a photograph for this one. HD photograph. Right, so that's our first image. This is going to be the image that we're going to use, and it's in widescreen. It's in clean, minimal, HD photograph with rich. Okay, so let's hit the magic button. That's going to make an image for us. This is going to be the start image of our video. It's also worth noting right now that this is also going to be the end image of the final clip of our video. Using the very first image as the very last image usually creates a perfect loop. So we've got our alien on screen there, and he's lovely, nice, spindly, and he's walking a little bit off, and we've got our desert stretching to the horizon, a few cacti, a few rocks. The size of the cacti is getting smaller, so it's got good, and the colours are nice, and it's cool. He's got his long arms. It looks a little bit weird. The head's not as big as I wanted, but that's acceptable. Now comes the cool part. What we're going to do is go down to your little floating toolbar here at the bottom and click on Evolve. All right, now this will load up your image into your studio on the side here. We've got our start image there, which is this image here, and we've got our text prompt. And now what we're going to do is we're going to create a few different versions of this image. We're going to change the environment to an icy cold tundra with the aurora sunset. So that should change that. All right, and all our settings are match start image. I'm just changing the environments here. And we'll have a look at them later. I'm reasonably confident they're going to work. Change the environment to a cyberpunk. There's one of my images. Oh no, what is he doing there? So we might have to do that image again. Trust it to troll me. So we've got one image there. The second image there worked fine. That image didn't work out how I wanted, but it's not a big deal because I can still get around that. So walking across a rope bridge, adding some atmospheric effects as well now to some of these later ones. All I've been doing there is changing the environment. We'll have a look there. So you've got him walking across the bridge. We've got him walking across dystopia. I might not use the bridge one actually. So let's go back to our create. We've got a few there we can use. Obviously, as you can see from all the images, oh, that's great. Right, so now we've changed the style as well. So as you can see now, we've changed the environment. We can change the actual style. Waiting for this to pop up just to make sure it's worked. I'm quite confident it will. There we go. So we've got this cool voxel graphic style. And that's great. Go back to the create, and we're still using the original image as our start image. And all these, as you can see, my alien's the same in nearly all of them. Well, it is the same alien, and it's just changed him slightly. And then what we're going to do is we're going to write a nice a walking tweening prompt, and we'll take it from there. Right now, so let's go back to the Create tab, go up to Video here at the top, click on Video, and reset everything. So the model that I'm going to use today is Dance Pro 1.5. It's probably my favorite model at the minute. It lets you use start image and end image. Make sure you're using in the studio in this panel to get all the full options. Videos are going to be 10 seconds long each. I don't want audio for this because I'm going to add audio to it right at the end. I usually set up all my settings like this beforehand, work out how much it's going to cost me per video, and then I decide how long I'm going to make it. So let's go with that. So the first thing we need to do is select our start image. So easy way to do is select your start image there. Then it's going to ask you video end frame. Click on image, click on choose an end frame image, and it's going to come back up with this little selection box here, and we're going to choose the next image. You don't have to choose the next image, you can choose any image from the ones that you've made, but just to keep it nice and simple, I'm going to choose the next image. So we've got a start image and an end image. So now let's write the text prompt. So what we've done there basically is we've said our subject's walking away from the viewer, which is what's happening in the camera. And then we've gone on to say what the camera is doing, and the camera is following the subject at the same distance behind him at all times. Now what we're going to do is add the little magic bit of the prompt that's going to make it morph from one environment to another. So what we've done is basically told it the environment is going to morph around our person. It's going to morph. It's going to do it sequentially. It's smooth interpolation. It's tweening, and it's going to become the end image. We've added quite a lot there in just that little sentence there, but this will control the tweening, and hopefully it should happen quite smoothly. A little note about tweening: even the best prompts sometimes will tween really badly, very occasionally, but usually if you include all these little things that I've included there, it should do it really well. There's one little thing that we need to add at the end of the image, and this is what we don't want the model to do. Our negative image. A lot of video models let you add a sort of negative prompt right at the end. So we're going to put our negative prompt here. Here's the really cool thing about this prompt. We're going to use this prompt for every single video that I'm going to make now as part of this sequence. Because I haven't specifically mentioned the actual environment, I've just said the environment's going to change. It's going to change from the first image to the last image. But I haven't actually said what is changing. So this gives the model enough leeway to multiple videos and just use the same prompt over and over and over and over again, because everything that's happening on the video is in the video is the same. So what I do is I copy that there, or I can just leave that as it is. We'll make it 12 seconds. Just checking everything's right here. Always with your video prompts, check it, make sure it's all good, and then check it again. I class myself as quite an advanced user on videos, on NightCafe in general, and it's so easy to waste credits if you don't check things. So check your prompt. If you're happy with your prompt, click on the create button. I'm quite confident my prompt is going to work, so I'm just going to power on to the next clip straight away, and we can check them all later. So we've got our prompt already there. Now we need to change our start image. If we go back here, click on start image there, it's going to bring up this, and it's going to show the start image that you're using currently. We're going to choose the next image, which is also our end frame here. So our start image has become the end frame from the previous video, and if we click on end frame, that's already selected. We just have to pick the next video. Now I'm not going to pick this one, otherwise my man's going to jump off the end there. So I'm going to pick this one, right? And we're going to hit create there, and that's going to do that one. Then we can go back to start image, and now we want to select this as our start image. So we've got that one as the start image, and this one as the end image. We'll just choose a sequence, right? And that should make that one. And then we can change the start image again to the rope one this time, and the end frame to the next one, and we'll create that. And then you can just keep going, just creating them. Always remembering to change your start image and images. So we're up to there. I suppose it's all about workflow and process. If you know what you're doing, and you've got a good prompt, and you're just making a tweening video, and you've got start and end images, you can make them like this. Where are we up to now? So we're up to the voxel graphics, and the end frame is that one, then the start image is the hologram, and turn it into a wireframe, so create that one, and then finally what we're going to do is, right now, your end frame is your start frame is going to be the last frame that you did there. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the very first image that we're going to use is going to be the very last one as well. So go to your end frame. The one that we're going to choose is this one. Now, the reason why I've done that is so that when I eventually link up the entire video together, it's going to play sequentially, and it's going to play smoothly. And when it gets to the last video, it's going to loop back to the start video and it'll start playing again. So, did I hit on create? I'll hit on create again. So that should be almost everything done. Videos should start popping out soon. Just refresh that page there. See what's happening. So, as you can see, the videos are getting made. The environment's morphing around the man there, the alien who's wiggling his butt a little bit there. Like I said, if you've got a good solid prompt, this works quite flawlessly generally. You've just got to make sure that you include all the key phrases that are in my prompt. I'll share the prompts and everything in a separate file, so you can see what's happening here. Oh, all right, okay, so it's obviously made a mistake there. So I might want to do this one again. That's right. So I'm just going to run that one again. That one didn't come out how I wanted. So this one didn't turn out well for some reason. It ignored my start image. Oh no, it had my start image, but then it added another figure. I see what it did. It's in the next one. Oh, that linked up quite nicely, didn't it? Alright. Most of the images should link up quite nicely. So we're just checking through these just to make sure there's no glaringly obvious things that need attention. Alright, that one is all fine. Let's click on that one. Usually nice footprints. Yep, all great. Bring some colour back into it. This one should be the one that's going to take it right back. Oh, he nearly fell over then. What's he doing? Where are you going, mate? Get back on track. There we go. Right, back on track again. There you go. And we're just waiting for this one to pop out again, just so I can make that one. Let's see how that one plays out. It's made it again. So there we go. Now he's walking and the environment's changing, and that's acceptable. We can use that one. We've got all our clips made now. So let me just quickly download them. So we've made all our clips. Now, obviously, we can't link them together in NightCafe. There are a lot of different editors that you can use to clip them together. Normally, I do this on my phone. The app that I use on my phone is called a Photo Play app. I use Android. I'm not sure if it's on iPhone, but it's an absolutely brilliant app for making videos. Quite a lot of functions. Renders videos really quick as well for what it is. So you can use that, or you can use any other video editor that'll let you edit videos, and you should be able to just stick these on the timeline and they should link up together. We're going to use a video pad. Create a new project, and it's added all my clips. Which one was the first one now? Yeah, that was my first one. So where's the clip on the sequence? We'll just shrink that down. And then we've got the Aurora one next. So that one looks like it starts on an Aurora. First clip on sequence at end. Shrink that down a little bit more. Which one have we got at the end of that? Oh, the city. Place that on the end. Rope bridge. It's all fixed. As you can see, there are. I'm just sticking them all onto the timeline. I'm not adding any transitions or anything like that. I'm just making sure that they're placed at the end of the sequence and they're placed in the right order, which is probably the most important thing. And here. So we've got all my clips placed there. Just do a quick preview. Oh, not that. Set that back to the start. Now watch it and see it all happening in action here. And then all that's left to do is to add some music. Because I use start and end images, as you can see from the video, occasionally the character drifts off track a little bit. But he always ends up in the right position because I used start and end images. So it always has to link up. Even though he nearly fell over then, he still then walks over to the right place, to there. And then that would link up back to the start here, you see. And it would loop. So there's that. And then obviously you can add music as well. I make most of my music using Suno. Let's just see what that plays like. So now what we can do is we can actually render this. I'm quite happy with that. So I'm quite happy with that. Stop, that's probably echoing, isn't it? Right, so we've done that. It all plays and everything. Let me just take that back to the start. And we're going to render this now. And what we'll do is we'll play this video now. So that's the finished video, start to finish, with some music added, all the transitions done, and it'll loop perfectly. Not really much more left for me to say really now. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I'll hand back over to Cass now. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Gully, for walking us through that. Hopefully video generation feels a little bit less daunting. Of course, like I said, a huge thanks to Gully for walking us through his workflow. If something works for you after this workshop, make sure to tag us in your creation. So that's it, guys. Thanks for staying tuned. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment what you want to see next, and hype the video if you are feeling so inclined to. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.